That's the amplified sound we want. But if it so happened,
Professor Kalixte, ndi umuyobozi wa kaminuza ya East African University Rwanda, akaba kaminuza ifite ishami Kigali na headquarters ziri Nyagatare. Kaminuza yatangiye mu 2015 nibwo twatangiye kugaragara Nyagatare, dutangira na amashami arindwi atandatu. Muri aya mashami atandatu dufite ishami rya filmmaking and film production, dufite ishami rya mass communication, dufite ishami rya industrial arts and design, dufite ishami rya business administration and business studies, dufite ishami ry'uburezi, tukagira n'ishami rya leisure tourism, hotel management. Abagabo ni nka 42%, abakobwa ni nka 58%. Ngubu ikoranabuhanga twarigize imibereho yacu ya buri munsi. Icyambere cy'umunyeshuri uza muri iyi kaminuza ashobora kwapurayinga binyuze online. Ku banyamahanga bo rero dusaba ko babanza kubona equivalence itangwa na Minisiteri y'Uburezi. Ireme rero ry'uburezi hano tugira ibyo twita continuous assessment test, kuvuga ibizamini bikorwa uko umunyeshuri agenda yiga module. Babazwa mu buryo butandukanye, ushobora guhabwa quiz, ushobora guhabwa cartes zisanzwe, ushobora guhabwa na assignment. Ariko noneho no mu kizamini ibibazo byacu ko biteye ni ibibazo bikubaza ibyo wize, bigusaba gutekereza, bigusaba gukemura ibibazo. Noneho mu bibazo byacu habamo case study, kuvuga ngo tuguha inyandiko yanditswe n'abahanga cyangwa ikibazo cyangwa umwandiko wakozwe, muri uwo mwandiko hakavamo ibibazo. Mbere na mbere ugomba gusoma, ntabwo ari ukuvuga ngo nibyo nakwandikiye aho ngaho, ahubwo birasaba wa munyeshuri gutekereza, ariko no mu kubishyira muri context ya application yayo. Scholarship yacu ntabwo yishyura. Urazi scholarship ni loan scheme, uzishyura warangije uri gukora. Iyi rero yo turaguhereka ni grant abashinze kaminuza batanze ku banyeshuri bifuza ko bishobora kuzagera mu bantu bafite imyaka itari mike.
Turashimye cyane East African University kuko private university ya mbere yaje Nyagatare, baraza batugirira neza, batuma umujyi mushya warimo wiyubaka wa Nyagatare. Yari ikintu nka santere itangiye kujya gutera imbere. East African University yongereye umubare w'abantu bari mu mujyi, tutarajya no kureba n'izindi services batanze. byatumye umubare w'abantu baba bari mu mujyi wiyongera. Haba ama activities, haba ibikorwa, abaguzi bariyongera, ukabona ko mu mujyi umubare w'abantu biyongereye kubera abanyeshuri baje muri ikindi cya kabiri izana faculties zitatangwaga n'abandi, izana ibintu bya hospitality twari dukeneye cyane. Hari amahoteli ari hano yari akeneye abantu bafite ubumenyi, bafite 4-star hotel, 3-star hotel n'izindi hoteli zubaka, dufite pariki y'Akagera twabivuze, harakenewe abantu bafite ubumenyi.
Ubu ngubu dufitanye ubufatanye n'amabanki n'abantu biga za business studies, usanga baragisaba abanyeshuri. Nk'ubu nka Equity Bank idufasha no kugera ubumenyi cyangwa peka bose dufitanye emoro, nabo barafata abakozi abanyeshuri bacu beza. N'ikibigaragaza muri iyo twa graduates, aho ngaho baza guhemba abanyeshuri beza no kubizeza imirimo bazaba. Duhereye ku byo nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika dukoreye mu gufungura amarembo, gukora marketing y'igihugu cyacu, ibi ngibi byaduhaye izina, biduha n'umusaruro mu bijyanye n'uburezi. Ubu ngubu rwose ndakubwira yuko muri iki gihugu byibuze abanyeshuri barenga 5,000 b'abanyamahanga bari kwiga mu Rwanda muri za kaminuza. Bityo na East African University Rwanda yarabakiriye muri izi porogaramu nziza dufite hano mu Nyagatare, ku buryo dufite abanyeshuri benshi b'abanyamahanga bava mu bihugu bya Nigeria, bava mu bihugu bya Gabon, bava mu bihugu bya Cameroon, bava mu bihugu bitandukanye bya Afurika na East Africa.
The surprise that I really landed on in Rwanda here is that when I reached Rwanda, I came purposely looking for the best university that would take me or would cater for my individual needs as professionalism is concerned. And after carrying out all my research, I came to realize and landed on East Africa as one of the best universities, considering the factors that I was considering. For example, in visa processing, and when we come to career guidance, when we look at its administration structure, these are some of the key things that, or elements that I got surprised with. More so when I reached out East Africa, the first time I entered the library, it was communicating volume. So that made another surprise on my side, hence tempting me to be part of East African University.
Izina ry'iyi kaminuza ryagiye hejuru, bijyanye n'uko icyizere muri iyi kaminuza cyarazamutse, kuko urebye ubwitabire bw'abanyeshuri batugana, urebye porogaramu dufite, urebye abashinze iki kigo batanze scholarship ku banyarwanda biga bafite scholarship muri iyi kaminuza, ibyo byose byubatse ubumwe hagati y'ubuyobozi n'abanyeshuri n'abakozi n'abashinze iyi kaminuza.
And I've gone deep into the system at East African University, comparing with other different universities, because this is not my first time at the university. This was another bachelor's in the University of Rwanda from another university as well. I had also other different qualifications, but looking at the standard at East African University, it is one of the selling standards that one would really look at and consider. When we talk about its standard, more so in academic part, of course, the most important thing we look at is the standard. And the standard we're looking at in terms of quality. So we as international students, it really counts a lot, because we have been looking for one of the best universities that would fit us, and at the end of it all, we really met one because of its standard. And when you look at its management, of course, the management is playing its best role to ensure that quality is always kept on standard. And truly, if there is any chance that I would recommend any international, the best option, not a good option.
ubu dufite abarimu beza muri iki gihugu, nitwe kaminuza muri education tourism ifite abarimu, abadogiteri, amasters, ababikoze nk'umwuga babyigisha abanyeshuri. Icyo ntawe tukirwanira rwose turi hejuru. U Rwanda ni igihugu kigendwa, ni igihugu gifite izina, ni igihugu kimaze kubaka imibanire n'abanyamahanga, ni igihugu kimaze kwiteza imbere mu nzego zitandukanye, ndetse kinatangwaho urugero n'ibihugu byinshi ku bijyanye bitewe n'imiyoborere myiza dukesha His Excellency Paul Kagame. Ni nawe mu by'ukuri marketer wacu wa mbere wadufunguriye amarembo, dufungurira ibihugu byinshi ku buryo byinshi biza kuvoma no kwiga uko u Rwanda ruri gukora, kuko ibyo ruri gukora bitangaza amahanga nyuma yo kuva muri genocide yo muri 1994 yakorewe Abatutsi. Ni igihugu cyubatse kiteza imbere, buri wese afite icyizere cyo kubamo.
When I first came to Rwanda, the culture shock that I got was, first of all, this place is so clean. Like the cleanliness, I heard of it before, but like seeing it, it shapes a very different picture in my mind, especially as an environmental enthusiast.
Ibikoresho nabyo twarabyongereye byo gufata. Ari Nyagatare, ari Kigali, kitchen n'ibindi bikenerwa twarabyongereye. Ikindi twongereye ni abanyeshuri kujya muri field. Ubukerarugendo bukorerwa muri destination aho bubera. So ntabwo wavuga ngo urimo urarera uzayobora ba mukerarugendo atazi aho ubukerarugendo bukorera. Abanyeshuri bacu rero bajya gusura za parike, bajya gusura ahantu hatandukanye ubwiza nyaburanga, aho tugurisha mbese ba mukerarugendo. Mu myaka 5 turifuza no kuzamura icyiciro twigishirizaho ubungubu cya bachelor's degree tukajya byibuze kuri masters. Turifuza kuba twatanga na program za masters. Ikibiri kubibuza n'ubu ntabwo ari uko tudafite ababishoboye, ni inyubako. Rero inyubako ni ikintu cya mbere gikomeye, ahantu hambere tugomba gushyira imbaraga kugira ngo n'izo program tuzamure zibe nyinshi, zakira abantu benshi, ariko tuzamure n'urwego twigishirizaho. Turatangira mu kwezi kwa 5 kubaka kaminuza ijyanye n'igihe, aho twifuza ko bashyira ama program menshi ya sciences with education. Mu bizubakwa harimo n'amalaboratoire 3, laboratoire ya chimie, ya physique, ya biologie, ni laboratoire dushyize imbaraga kandi muri plan n'ibintu biri. Hari ukongera program zijyaho ku isoko ry'umurimo rigenda rihinduka, tuzongera ama program muri myaka 5 tuvugurure n'ahari ajyane n'icyo isoko ry'umurimo rifuza. Tuzakomeza kongera ubumenyi bw'abarimu binyuze mu mahugurwa, binyuze no mu gushaka abafite impamyabushobozi n'impamyabumenyi zihanitse cyane PhD, bijyanye n'uko Mineduc ubu ngubu isaba ko byibuze 30% by'abarimu bigisha muri kaminuza baba bafite PhD. Ibyo rero ni gahunda twashyizemo imbaraga kandi biri gukorwa, kuko ubu ngubu muri recruitment condition ufite PhD. Iyo niyo condition twasetinze kandi bimaze gutanga. Usengera hano rwose hari aba PhD imbaraga, ariko ubu ufite PhD zose. Abashinze kaminuza ubwabyo kuzana investment y'uburezi mu Rwanda, ni contribution ikomeye kubaka umuntu ushoboye, ni ikintu gikomeye cyane. So abayishinze turabashimira cyane, ni igikorwa cy'indashyikirwa. Icya kabiri turashimira leta y'u Rwanda. Leta y'u Rwanda yatanze iyo space, yatanze environment abantu bishimira gukoreramo, kandi igakomeza kwashyira umutekano ku banyeshuri, ku bakozi bigisha bakigisha batuje. Leta y'u Rwanda turayishimira, ariko turashimira na Minisiteri y'Uburezi, High Education Council, bahora batugenzura umunsi ku wundi, bahora batugira inama umunsi ku wundi kugira ngo dukomeze kubaka ireme ry'uburezi, dusohora abantu bashoboye kandi bashobotse. Abo bose turabashimira. end result, ni kuvuga ngo igisubizo cya nyuma umuntu yaha umunyeshuri, icyizere umuntu yaha umunyeshuri ni uko arangiza ashobora kubona akazi keza kandi cyangwa se akaba yakwihangira umurimo.
We believe that through education,
Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. We have 5 minutes before the program starts. Good morning. Please wind up so that we can start by 9:30. Thank you. Good morning once again. My name is Zuhura Wamboi, and I'll be taking you through today's program. And we are already 35 minutes late. So I'm begging if we can now start our program. And I would also like to acknowledge the presence of His Excellency Naima Khan, the Ambassador of Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Welcome. So as all of you have the program, the event was supposed to start at 8:45, registration, and then tea break. And then we have the message. Professor. Is Professor in the room? Anyway, before that then, as we are waiting, we'll start then with yesterday's highlight. And the film guys will play for us yesterday's highlights as we are waiting for Professor to come. Ashley and your team, please. So what we'll be playing today is what happened. I know yesterday we did not have any plenary discussion, so we'll have a reflection of what happened yesterday, and then we'll start officially the session today. So this will run for maximum of 5 minutes, please. And then if you have any questions, we'll ask later.
We believe that through education, through research, and the collaborations, we can empower the next generation. In the collaborations, we can empower the next generation of leaders and innovators to create a better world. Together, let us ignite the spirit of entrepreneurship for sustainable development and pave the way for a brighter and more sustainable future. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for opening up your doors and your universities and your kindness to us. We will cherish these relationships for years to come.
Universities are known to be breeding grounds for innovative ideas and theoretical frameworks, fostering critical thinking, research, and the development of new knowledge. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, bring these ideas to real life, translating theory into practice, thus bringing about tangible solutions that address real-world challenges.
Entrepreneurship for sustainable development is about developing nations. It is about developing our communities, but specifically it is about seeing human beings in alienated areas under the poverty line, helped to rise beyond the challenges and the difficulties of this life, live lives are dignified. It is about our children in Africa and elsewhere in the world. It is about our neighbors, it is about church members, for those of us who go to church, to help them live higher lives with higher purpose and better lives.
I'm also reminding you that we are streaming the session live, so you can follow the page. It is shared on the Cimpad WhatsApp group. So we'll continue from there, and I'll now call upon Professor Kabera to come and introduce His Excellency.
Good morning once again. I hope your night was good. Today we are blessed by having His Excellency Naeem Khan, Ambassador of Islamic Republic of Pakistan. He is with us, and I would like to request him to come and deliver his keynote speak. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Muraho, Amakuro, Murakoze Chane. I am Naeem Khan, Ambassador of Pakistan in Kigali, Rwanda. I am highly grateful to the administration and the management as well as the leadership of the East African University for giving me this opportunity of interaction with such great people. Before diplomat, I served in many countries. I started from Spain, Argentina, Cuba, Canada, Afghanistan, and now in Rwanda. So I have a multi-dimensional type of experience in different countries and continents. And before coming to Rwanda, I was Director General Africa in Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Pakistan, and I studied Africa as a continent, and I visited many African countries as well. For me, it is an honor to be in this great country, safe, clean, and green, and this is all because of the leadership, because leadership matters. If we compare Rwanda of 94 and Rwanda of today, 24. So these 30 years tell us that why Rwanda is today such a great country. In Pakistan, we call it Singapore of Africa because of the leadership. And when I met His Excellency President Paul Kagame, so I told him that, sir, people study you as a leader. They know you as a president of a country, but also as a global leader, and people do research in different universities on your leadership model. So for us, you are an inspiration that how a country with so many challenges is today such a great country, and today we are sitting here. Before diplomat, I was also an educationist, and that's why I have keen interest in education. I had my own schools. Even today there are schools, colleges, and we are also now working on a university in Pakistan. Pakistan is a country of 250 million people. And I was talking to professor that maybe one day we see Pakistani students here in East Africa University because of the population, the fifth most populous country in the world. So most of our universities, they are full, and we are searching other opportunities so that we can provide education opportunities to our students in other countries. So we can collaborate in that area also. For me, education is highly essential. The first school that I started, that was with the father of Malala Yousafzai. Malala Yousafzai, the Nobel laureate, she is from Pakistan, and she is from my city. She is from my village. And she was our student in our school, and I saw her when she was in 6th grade and 5th grade, and the way she was, the leadership qualities that she had at that time. And when I received her in Canada, and she was giving a speech in the Canadian Parliament, and everybody was giving them standing ovation, I told her that you are the same Malala. So when you have talent and you also get proper environment and proper educational environment, so then we develop personalities, and then we get people who have leadership qualities, and then they bring change. So education is a highly important sector. Today I have been told that I should talk on sustainable development and entrepreneurship. When we talk about education, so this is an umbrella term. Technically, education means to bring proper change in behavior. When there is a change in attitude, that is education. That's why sometimes we say that we expect things from an educated person. So education can be formal, it can be informal, and it can be non-formal. Education can be in formal educational institutions like colleges, schools, universities. It can be from the experiences of life in an informal way. And education is non-formal, where we arrange different situations, where different circumstances, exhibitions, demonstrations. For example, in agriculture, extension department expert goes to a village and tell the farmers how to do progressive farming. That is also education, but that is non-formal education, because the farmers are not students, and the people who are training them, they are not teachers. So we don't have a proper teaching learning environment, but there is education is going on in a non-formal way. That's why most of the universities, they, along with their formal education setup, they also go for informal and non-formal situations. So this is one of my suggestions, that the students, when they are in your universities, why not to make them prepare? Because there is a huge criticism on education nowadays, that the people become bookish, and once they have their degrees, their certificates, they come to the real world, they don't have jobs, they don't have employment, they can't face the challenges of life, they cannot generate money, they don't have income, and then they are disappointed, they are depressed, then they go through a lot of psychological problems. So why not, when they are with you in the universities, and for years and years, prepare them as entrepreneurs, prepare them as managers, as leaders. So tomorrow, when they have the piece of paper in the form of degree or certificate, they should be able to have their own money. Because there is a huge criticism going on social media and everywhere, in research papers also, that education institutions, they do not teach life to people. They teach them some literacy, some skills, maybe some intellectual academic topics, but they do not prepare them for real life challenges. So entrepreneurship and sustainable development, if you prepare them as entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship means that you create and you grow a business, a project, and that project gives you some income. Now, profit is there. Profit is important because money makes the mere go. When we talk about the factors of production, so there are 6 factors of production: land, labor, capital, management, energy, and technology. Now, when you have these 6 factors of production and you enable them, that you can have capital in the form of money, currency, dollars, whatever, francs, but you can also have capital as human capital, human resources, and when you have talent, you have critical thinking, you have creativity, you have innovation, and you can do things out of the box, and you have some unique solutions. From that also you can generate your profit. Because recently we trained in Pakistan High Commission in Kigali 65 young Rwandan graduates and undergraduates. We gave them training in entrepreneurship, communication skills, project management, creativity, critical thinking, leadership. And after the course, they were so happy and they said that we got some real applicable skills which we can apply in our lives and we can generate income for us. The issue was why we started this project. Because when a young man and woman, when a young educated person goes to any job, so the employer asks, give me experience, show me experience. And he or she says, give me job, so I will give you experience. And he said, no, I will give you job when you give me experience. So it is a vicious cycle. We have to be innovative that how the young people, they can break this vicious cycle that they have experience, so they will get job. And they have no job, so they have no experience. That's why we gave them 2 months training, and at the end of the training, we gave them experience certificate, job experience certificate. Because we gave them different projects, marketing projects, market surveys. They went to different markets, they brought us solutions, and we gave them experience certificate. Now when they go to any job, they can at least show that they work with Pakistan Embassy for 2 months. So we have to think over it, and we did not spend a lot of money on this. We just have multimedia projector, we have some chairs, some classroom environment, we requested some guest speakers, they came, they trained them, we gave them projects, they submitted their projects, they did some real work, interviews, case studies, and we gave them questionnaires, they did their research. It was not, we did not spend a lot of money on that, but there was enthusiasm, there was passion. The other day I was studying that what is health. Health is not the absence of disease, because every one of us have some kind of diseases, everywhere, physiology, morphology, or anywhere. But what is health? Health is that when you have enthusiasm to work, and when you have passion that you can do things, and you have a cause, and you have to achieve that cause, and for that cause you have a lot of energy, and when you are energetic, you are dynamic, you are involved, and you have some vision, some mission, some objective, some strategy, some action plan, and you understand your SWOT analysis, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and you are a conscious human being. This enables you that you can create opportunities for yourself, and then you can create opportunities for others. And this way, we have a better life. Now, what is sustainability? Sustainability is our human interconnectedness. This is that we are greedy, we are selfish, but we have to take care of others also. We have to fight against our nature. If I have 10 trees and I have to cut all the 10 trees for my benefit, and I get consciousness, I get some conscience, and I become a bit conscious that no, I shouldn't cut all the 10 trees. I can cut 1 or 2 trees, and I can do this on sustainable basis. And when I'm cutting a tree, I should also grow more trees. So this interconnectedness, this humanity, that my life is not only for me. My life, my actions, my activities can have negative or positive impact on others. So this consciousness is sustainability, that there are other people also involved, there are vulnerable people, there are poor people, and those people, they do not have those opportunities. I have an opportunity, I have power, and if I start doing everything only for me, what will happen to environment? What will happen to society? What will happen? I become conscious of my responsibility as a cosmopolitan citizen that I live in this society. I am a social animal. I am a rational animal. I am not just an animal that I will live only for myself. So when we live for others and when we keep in mind other people, so this concept is sustainability. This is humanity, this is humanitarian approach, this is human rights, that when you take care of others along with your own self. So we have to generate profit, there should be income, there should be money, but while generating income, we have this consciousness that other people may not be negatively affected from my actions. So this concept is sustainability, because there is interconnectedness. Everybody, every person is interconnected in this universe. We are not isolated. We have positive or negative impacts. We impact others and others impact us. This is why we are here today. We are sitting and we are discussing different topics. Now, pragmatism means that what are the consequences of what we are doing? Utilitarianism means that what is the utility of my actions? Is it result oriented, or it is just an activity for the sake of activity, or it is just a formality? Am I really involved in this whole process? Because all that doesn't work is not true. If it works, it is true. If it doesn't work, it is not true. Maybe you have very good intentions and you have very good ideas, but whether your idea is working or not working, whether it has some impact on others or not. So we have to be a little conscious of the results of what we are doing. East Africa University, I had interaction with them on different occasions. I found them very professional people, and this is why today we are sitting here in this international conference. I also had some interaction with some other delegates from other countries. I hope that next time they should also get their students involved, and after this conference, we would like to see the results, that what are the results from this activity. Because we are spending a lot of money, we are sitting here, we are eating, we are drinking, we are hiring, we are renting, and we are spending money. What will be the result? So if you publish a kind of research paper after this conference, and you share it, you disseminate it, you take it to other people, and this will be a kind of inspiration, and this is sustainability. That I did not waste my time, my energy, my focus for nothing. There is some tangible, some concrete outcome of this activity. So this is sustainability. When we talk about sustainable entrepreneurship, it means that when the profit we are generating, we have to take care of the environment. We have to take care of society. We have to take care of economy. And when we are doing it consciously, because development doesn't mean that you should do nothing. In life, there are two ways. Do nothing and be happy. And do everything and be happy and make others also happy. So when you are making others happy, others successful, and that is a positive way, that is affirmative, that is sustainability. Entrepreneurship, the big problem that the young people face, that is money. They say, how I can start? I have brilliant ideas, I have innovation, I have inventions, I have creativity, I have everything in my mind. I am so rich mentally, but money, I don't have money even for a motorbike. I cannot have money for a taxi. I cannot go from one corner of Kigali to another corner of Kigali. So how I can do? So we people that we are in a better positions, we have to generate funds, and we have to talk to banks, we have to talk to financial institutions, that they should have some doable solutions for these young people, because their first question is money, capital. I have idea. For example, the other day, a young woman came to me that she wants to have this egg powder, because eggs, they are not so durable, they are perishable. So I want to convert the eggs into powder, dry powder. And for that, I need a machine. And I need $12,000. And I have a very brilliant project, but I don't have like $1,000. I don't have $500. So how I can convert my ideas into action? I need money. Then I had to talk to some Pakistani entrepreneurs and business persons, and I told them, look, this is a very brilliant thing because eggs are perishable. If we convert this egg into powder, dry powder, it will be having more life. And why not we should, so they are studying the project. Business people, they are not so easy. You have to convince them. And for that convincing you have, because just to get $100 from the pocket of someone is not easy. And you are asking for $12,000. And yes, the project is very, but people don't believe in you. So we have to think over that how we can give them easy funding. This is highly, highly important. Along with ideas, creativity, innovation, the real problem, the serious problem is money. So banks, financial institutions, they must be included in such activities. They must come here. For example, you go in Rwanda, you will not find, I didn't see a single tractor working in any agriculture field. Agriculture is manual. People are doing manual agriculture. I came with this idea that why not we provide Pakistani tractors, Pakistani agriculture engineering tractors to these farmers. We met some farmers and the farmers say, I don't have $8,000 to buy a tractor. I need a tractor, I need a mechanical plow, I need a thresher where for my harvesting, for my everything, I need it. But I don't have $8,000, $10,000. Then we talked to Bank of Kigali, we talked to the Minister of Agriculture, we talked to some other people. Why not we have an idea that a Pakistani agriculture manufacturer will give a tractor of $8,000 to the farmer, but on installments. So can you take the guarantee that if there is a down payment of $1,000 or $500, you get the tractor, and then after 2 months, 3 months, you start depositing the money. So we are now negotiating that how we can provide to the farmers. The problem is that when we are buying an iPhone on $2,000, we never negotiate the price. But when we go to an agriculture market in Kimuronko or in Nyabogogo, and we will be telling them, please, this tomato, give me a little less. So this is a big problem with farmers. They do hard work, morning to evening, but they do not get the money. And other people, manufacturers and industrialists, they just a small, simple product, and they are getting a lot of money. So agriculture sector, we have to think over it. Because Pakistani tractors, these are small and lightweight tractors. These can go to the hills. Because Rwanda is a country of 1,000 hills. It is a country of eternal spring. We have to innovate. I talked to some US manufacturers, and they say that we brought big tractors, and it could not go to the mountains. That was not a good decision. So that's why Pakistan can provide small tractors where they can go to the hills. Because most of the Rwandan terrain, the topography, the geography, that is mountainous, that is hilly. So we have to think over it, how we can facilitate the lives of others. Now, in society, when we are living, what impact we are leaving on these social factors, socio-economic problems. It is a big problem. So entrepreneurship, the people who, according to the society of Rwanda, if you give homegrown solutions, so that will be the best entrepreneurship. For example, more than 50% of Rwandan tea, it goes to Pakistan. Because Pakistan is a tea drinking nation. We take tea 5 times a day, morning and 10 a.m. and evening and noon and every time. But this tea goes to other countries, and from other countries it goes to Pakistan. Now my innovation, my entrepreneurship is why this tea doesn't go directly to Pakistan. Because Pakistan can import every leaf of coffee from Rwanda and from the neighboring countries also. Because we are 250 million people, and 250 million every individual is taking tea. So this tea should go directly to Pakistan. This is just an idea, and when I met His Excellency, the President, he also told me that we want that Rwandan tea should go directly to Pakistan. And I'm so happy to announce that now Rwanda opened their embassy, high commission in Pakistan. So now we are becoming, direct links between the two countries. Now, in Pakistan, coffee is becoming very popular now. Coffee. Rwanda has the best coffee. Now, how to take Rwandan coffee to Pakistan? A big market, 250 million people. So we need entrepreneurs who come to us and he says that I have a very good coffee and this is properly packed and we have beans and we have powder and we have instant coffee and we have this coffee and that coffee. So it can go to Pakistan. Why not? Similarly, we bring beans, legumes, lentils, pulses from Canada, from Australia, from far away countries. Why not from Rwanda? The problem is, if you have agriculture department in your universities, the problem is phytosanitary certification. We have to bring some Pakistani inspectors. They should see that Rwandan lentils, pulses, legumes don't have pests and don't have diseases. It is just a formality. So then Rwandan extra additional beans that you have, it can go to Pakistan because we have a huge demand for that. Similarly, minerals, some of the minerals which are available here, we also need it. So for this, commercial diplomacy, that is important. Then we have cultural diplomacy. We have in Pakistan, one of Rwandan is now doing PhD in Pakistan. So we can offer scholarships. They can go to Pakistan, they can study. Pakistani students can come here. We can have student exchange programs. We can have professor exchange programs. Because Asia and Africa, remember, you have to work on research. Because we are so backward in research. Our people, either they are lazy, or they are not innovative, or they are not creative. But we don't have any contribution in the research, the world research. We have brain. We can do critical thinking, we can do research. Why not we give solutions to the world? Because African people, Asian people, they are so intelligent, they are so smart, they have great values. Why not Africa and Asia, South-South cooperation, and we give solutions to Europe, we give solutions to Americas, we give solutions to other continents and other countries. Why not? So universities, they should also focus on research. I would love to see the next Nobel Prize from Rwanda. Why not? And why not from a student of East Africa University? Why not you give them an environment to make them critical thinkers, to make them original thinkers, to make them imaginative, to have some new ideas so that you can get your Nobel Prize in any discipline. Why not? It can be science, it can be literature, it can be arts, it can be anywhere. So we have to work together. Pakistan High Commission is available for any kind of cooperation, for any kind of coordination. We are there. And as I told you that before diplomat, I was an educationist, and you can see me that I am speaking so much. I was told to speak little, but I spoke too much. So I'm sorry for taking so much of your time. But along with an ambassador and diplomat, I love education, I love research. So my institution, my office is always open for everyone. For the young people, I offer, I already told the professors who visited me in my office that from 15 to 20, our new internship program, we offer to East Africa University. We can invite their students even to Pakistan. Pakistanis can come here and they can study here. We can do a lot of exchange programs. So my office is always available. So let us do things in a sustainable way, in a creative way, in a different way, so that the opportunities that we have, using these opportunities, we can create opportunities for others. Thank you very much. So nice of you.
Clapping. That is not how we do the clapping. We were very inspired. So I'll guide you on how to do it. Rwanda has 6 letters. So we'll go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for that inspiration word from His Excellency. So we start with 6. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. Thank you very much for that. And it was we were very inspired. We thank you for that. And we say the conference is about networking, and we've seen that we are networking. He has even proposed to us that East Africa will be gaining opportunities for internship. So thank you on behalf of East Africa for that. We are also reminded about the conscious sustainability. The conference is all about internship for sustainable development. And it came out very clear that you're being reminded as scholars that stop being bookish and embrace entrepreneurship, so that you blend the two. You don't go to one side and you forget that we have to train our students on not only the bookish side, but the life skills for them to be able to engage once they graduate. So thank you very much. And our session now will start with our session for the program today on entrepreneurship and education, culture, gender, tourism, and health. These are the tracks that were not covered yesterday. So we'll be going to 4 different rooms. We have people that remain at Kivu tent. This is the Kivu tent. Then we have the Acceeds boardroom and master room. So the ones that will be going will be remaining here. It's the topic on unpacking individual level drivers of innovation and social innovation in resource-constrained context by Jean-Claude and Maria Christina. And then the second topic will be about university labor force by Mark Kiza and Dusabeyezu Hildebread. And then the last one. So in each session, we'll have three topics. So the third topic that will remain at Kivu is Civil Society and Registration Oversight by Dr. David A. Bell. Then those ones that will be going to Access Room will be doing track 1 on innovation, sustainability, business practice. And the topic will be I Matter, Poetry and Art Project Entrepreneur Approaches in the Arts by Miss Isabella Hanson. Then we have a Christian entrepreneur, a narrative inquiry on past Ezra legacy by Dr. Mukabalisa Oriel. Then the third one will be entrepreneurial initiatives in promotion, sobriety and community well-being in higher education by Dr. Gamariel, Bomnimana and Esther. Then room number 3 on innovation track number 1, innovation, sustainability, business practice. The topic will be business models in climate information, services for entrepreneur promotion in Rwanda by Dr. Patrick Gatsinzi. The contribution of information technology to effective of farmers field schools by Dr. Denny and Modest Uimana. Then the last topic is outsourcing an internal audit function, a cooperative study of the public and private sector in Uganda by Dr. Mulindwa Daniel. But before we disperse, I would humbly like to call upon the film guys, those ones that are in charge of photography, to grace the occasion by helping the VC and His Excellency on a photo session. Thank you.
We believe that through education, through research and the collaborations, we can empower the next generation of leaders and innovators to create a better world. Together, let us ignite the spirit of entrepreneurship for sustainable development and pave the way for a brighter and more sustainable future. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for opening up your doors and your universities and your kindness to us. We will cherish these relationships for years to come.
Universities are known to be breeding grounds for innovative ideas and theoretical frameworks, fostering critical thinking, research, and the development of new knowledge. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, bring these ideas to real life, translating theory into practice, thus bringing about tangible solutions that address real-world challenges.
Entrepreneurship for sustainable development is about developing nations. It is about developing our communities, but specifically it is about seeing human beings in alienated areas under the poverty line helped to rise beyond the challenges and the difficulties of this life, live lives are dignified. It is about our children in Africa and elsewhere in the world. It is about our neighbors. It is about church members, for those of us who go to church, to help them live higher lives with higher purpose and better lives.
We believe that through education, through research and collaborations, we can empower the next generation of leaders and innovators to create a better world. Together, let us ignite the spirit of entrepreneurship for sustainable development and pave the way for a brighter and more sustainable future. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for opening up your doors and your universities and your kindness to us. We will cherish these relationships for years to come.
Universities are known to be breeding grounds for innovative ideas and theoretical frameworks, fostering critical thinking, research, and the development of new knowledge. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, bring these ideas to real life, translating theory into practice, thus bringing about tangible solutions that address real-world challenges.
Entrepreneurship for sustainable development is about developing nations. It is about developing our communities, but specifically it is about seeing human beings in alienated areas under the poverty line helped to rise beyond the challenges and the difficulties of this life, live lives are dignified. It is about our children in Africa and elsewhere in the world. It is about our neighbors. It is about church members, for those of us who go to church, to help them live higher lives with higher purpose and better lives.
We believe that through education, through research and collaborations, we can empower the next generation of leaders and innovators to create a better world. Together, let us ignite the spirit of entrepreneurship for sustainable development and pave the way for a brighter and more sustainable future. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for opening up your doors and your universities and your kindness to us. We will cherish these relationships for years to come.
Universities are known to be breeding grounds for innovative ideas and theoretical frameworks, fostering critical thinking, research, and the development of new knowledge. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, bring these ideas to real life, translating theory into practice, thus bringing about tangible solutions that address real-world challenges.
Entrepreneurship for sustainable development is about developing nations. It is about developing our communities, but specifically it is about seeing human beings in alienated areas under the poverty line helped to rise beyond the challenges and the difficulties of this life, live lives are dignified. It is about our children in Africa and elsewhere in the world. It is about our neighbors. It is about church members, for those of us who go to church, to help them live higher lives with higher purpose and better lives.
Yes, good morning once again. It's a great privilege and honor to be having you today as we get ready to hear from our presenters. We have 3 of them in this Kivu tent venue. And the first presenter on the list will be Jean-Claude Mbonima, who is already available, and I guess the technical team help him with the presentation so that he may follow the projection as he presents. And then after him, we're supposed to have Mark Kiza, but I'm told this Mark Kiza is yet to make it to this place. Is Mark Kiza in the place, in the house? If Mark Kiza is not here, then we will proceed with the presentation by our brother who is already seated. This one is Dr. David. Okay, I guess this is Dr. David with the Civil Society and Registration Oversight in Africa. I guess you're the one. He's already here. He'll be our second presenter since Mark Kiza has failed to show up. So without any further ado, let us introduce my secretary is here. Can you please wave at the audience? He's called Enoch Nibishaka, the secretary. And myself, I'm Jean-Baptiste Manirakiza, chairing this session. And of course, we are glad to have the audience Now, without any further ado, let us receive the first presenter, Jean-Claude, to take us through his presentation. He will take around 20 minutes, and then the audience, you are free to ask your questions, if any, and or maybe make a comment, because we are here to help these presenters improve. Maybe if there are areas of improvement, they need to improve before their articles are published in any journal. Thank you so much. Jean-Claude, the ball is in your court.
Okay, thank you, Chair. My name is Jean-Claude Mbonimpa. My topic is related to unpacking individual level drivers of innovation and social innovation in resource-constrained context. Now, first of all, to introduce me, my name is Jean-Claude Mbonimpa. I'm working in the University of Rwanda in the Department of Accounting in the School of Business. And also I'm student in the University Cattolica del Sacro. This is the university from Italy. I have been working in a different institutions, including now, in most cases, I'm accountant. Now, I have my background in accountant. I have worked in different projects, international and national projects. And now I'm academia and I'm professional accountant. Without spending much time on this, I want now to introduce my work. As I have said, my topic is related to unpacking or examining individual level drivers of innovation and social innovation. Of course, in resource-constrained context. My motivation on my work is related to how innovation is very, very important on countries. Sometimes the countries with limited resources. The countries with limited resources have some challenges relating to economic, education, economic growth, education, healthcare, overall life of now of their people. Now, I find the innovation can be a good bridge now for progress of those now countries. I focused on individual level drivers of innovation and social innovation, especially in poor countries. And I theorized that now the specific individual level drivers significantly influence innovation and social innovation in that poor countries. Now, for innovation, I identified some key individual factors, which is market orientation, sales orientation, and then curiosity. For social innovation, I just theorized about social passion and the ethical orientation, now which is more influential in individual level drivers. Now, I test my hypothesis by focusing on Rwanda. I focus on Rwanda because of Rwanda is one of developing country which has overcome the significant obstacles now. And Rwanda offers a compelling setting to explore how individual traits and orientation influence innovation. Some problem now statement and the gap I have, in most cases you find the literature of innovation is more focusing for developing country. Now, without regarding more on constrained context or developing country. That is why I tried just to analyze those individual drivers now of innovation. Now, by understanding by understanding the intrinsic dynamics and key factors propelling innovation and social innovation in this context has proven now sometimes elusive or sometimes hard to capture. Now, the choice was informed that Rwanda has unique socio-economic landscape which present both challenges and the opportunities for innovation. Like, for example, if you see Global Innovation Index ranks Rwanda as the 105th place among 132 economies in 2002. This is the Global Innovation Index in 2002. I hypothesize 5 hypotheses now. 5 hypotheses, I said that now in resource constrained context, once there is a higher market orientation of a person, also there is higher intention now to innovate. The second one, the higher the sales orientation of a person, there is also higher intention to innovate. Now, third hypothesis, the higher curiosity of a person, the higher intention to innovate. This is in relation to drivers of innovation. In relation now to drivers of social innovation, I said that the higher social passion in a person, the higher intention to create social impact through innovation. The fifth one, the higher ethical orientation of a person, of course in the resource constrained context, the higher and the higher intention to create social impact through innovation. This is in my conceptual framework. The conceptual framework if you can now go to next slide. Now I also show the conceptual framework. Please, can you assist me to next slide? Okay. No problem. Now, on conceptual framework, I tried just to construct a conceptual framework based on those independent variables and independent variables and dependent variables. Why independent variables are market orientation, sales orientation, curiosity, social passion, ethical orientation, innovation, and this social innovation. That one is the other conceptual framework. Now, in my research design, I used an empirical research relying on cross-sectional data. Now, also together, the data, I use now the student from University of Rwanda, and I consider the student from University of Rwanda as now the future leaders of Rwanda, of course, and the future innovators. That is why I select them as now as the person just the person I administered, I select just for asking now the question. I send the question, distributed the question through Google Form to my students. Once I was analyzing my data, I used this data just to analyze descriptive correlation and the linear regression analysis. Now, population and sample, I had 2,368 students now from different units of University of Rwanda. Now I sampled the 200 from now the College of Business and Economics and the 62 from the College of Arts and Social Sciences. And about my results, I tested the correlations, and also I tested the regression analysis. From the correlations, I tested the social, from the correlation, I tested the first independent variables relating now to drivers of innovation. Now, from drivers of innovation, as I have said, we have market orientation, sales orientation, and curiosity. Now, both of them, all of them, I find they are, all of them, either market orientation, sales orientation, and curiosity orientation, there is a positively, there is a positive and significant correlation among those variables. Now there is a positive correlation between market orientation, sales orientation, and the curiosity now to innovations. This is what is there in that PowerPoint. On the following PowerPoint, now on the following correlation for social innovation are also I find the positive and also significant influence with now the figure which is 0.865 and 841, which is significant for influence because it's greater than coefficient now correlation of 0.5. Now I tested also the linear regression for innovation. For the next slide, table number 3. Now for linear regression, yes. Now I tested the linear regression for innovation drivers. After testing those ones, we find all market orientations, sales orientation, and curiosity all influence now innovations. All those now key drivers now of innovation with now the significant influence. 0.72 for market orientation, sales orientation 0.74, and the curiosity 0.67. Now those are positively now influencing now innovation. The same for social innovation. Social innovation and ethical orientations also I find now significant influence for all those drivers of innovation. We have now 0.7 for social innovation for social passion to social innovation, and ethical orientation 0.84 to social innovation. Both are now significantly influencing now social innovations. Now in concluding, I find all my hypotheses are confirmed because I find now positive and significant correlation, and I find also positive and positive and influencing now the dependent variables. Now on regression analysis, both are positive, and I confirmed H1, hypothesis 1, hypothesis 2, and hypothesis 3 for innovations, and the hypothesis 4 and 5 for social innovations. Now, conclusion. On my conclusion, as I started showing how innovation is very, very important, not only in a developed country, but also in a developing country, normally I find understanding drivers of innovation and the social innovation is of paramount importance in the contemporary global landscape. And historically, the majority of scholars' literature has predominantly concentrated developed nations rather than developing countries. Now, innovation is just a luxury for developed countries, but also crucial necessity in poor nations. These countries cannot solely rely on traditional poverty alleviation measures. Instead, they require innovative solutions to overcome system challenges and foster sustainable innovation. Means that on traditional poverty, normally, all the developing country, most are relying on aid, support, and whatever. That now, here, we can find now innovation can be one of the solutions to overcome the challenges now developing countries have for sustainable development. Now, also, once we are analyzing, we find a critical observation in those environments is the lack of macro-level drivers of innovation. When I talk to macro-level drivers of innovation, I'm talking to government policy, institution support, and whatever. Now, those macro drivers of innovation in the developed country, you find now it is well developed. But in the developing country, we find a problem now on fostering innovation in the developing country. Now, that is why normally in my recommendations, I recommend that the developing country should put more emphasis on fostering macroeconomic policy, but those policies, institutional support, and whatever, just to have more innovation now in their countries. But in my analysis, I find now individual level of drivers, at least as I have we saw in our results, we find now it's good. That is why we find, despite macro level challenges, it is not worth it that innovation is growing in a certain area with the countries driven with primarily by individual level drivers. This resilience and ingenuity at the individual level are often propelled by necessity, personal motivation, and community engagement, compensating for the absence of broader system support, which is the macro level drivers now of innovation. By concluding, I find also, I find my study has some contribution relating to make a significant contribution to existing body of knowledge by theorizing and demonstrating specific drivers of innovation and social innovation in this underexplored context. And one research described that the market orientation, sales orientation, curiosity form robust foundation that drives the innovation process in environment typically constrained by limited resources. And also, in addition, our paper takes a deep dive into real-time social innovation by theorizing and demonstrating social passion and ethical orientation are the critical antecedent of such countries. Now, this exploration not only fulfills critical gaps in innovation literature, but also provides valuable insight for policymakers, practitioners, and scholars interested in fostering innovation in resource-constrained environment. Now, thank you for following this presentation. I just expect some contributions and questions if possible. Thank you very much.
No, that's not enough. One more, please. Yes. Thank you, Jean-Claude, for taking us through your presentation about innovation. And of course, it agrees to one quotation by a man called Drew Boyd, who said, innovation is anything that is new, useful, and surprising. Now, everyone, when we were talking, people were curious, they were attentive to me, they were really following each and every step of your presentation. And now I want to open the floor for the audience to speak your minds, please. Did you find it? Because the topic begins with unpacking. Has he been able to unpack? Or you have some suggestions on how to successfully unpack? If there is any comment or question, please, yes, please. Someone can help with the mic?
Thank you for your presentation. You did a wonderful job. At the beginning of your presentation, you talked about the Global Innovation Index, and you said that Rwanda ranked 105 out of 132. So my question is, do you recall what the metrics were to determine that ranking? That's the first question. The second question is, based on your research, what recommendations would you make to increase?
Excuse me, he would like you to repeat, if you don't mind, the first question.
Yes. In your background of your presentation at the very beginning, you talked about the global index, the global innovation index, and you said that Rwanda ranked 105 out of 132. So I was just asking, did you recall what the metrics was used to determine that ranking? You may not. I'm sure it was a whole list of things. I was just wondering if you happen to remember what that was.
Okay, thank you for the question, but I didn't go deeply on the matrix they used just to find now by ranking those ones. What I did, I just downloaded I get the index and I quoted it. But of course, my task just to do and understand the matrix they have used to rank, of course, the countries.
Okay, that's fair. My second question was, based on your research, what recommendations would you have to improve that number? Or would you have any recommendations?
Come again?
What recommendations would you have to improve that index so that you could rank higher? What would move the needle from 105 to
yes,
higher?
First one, the countries, they have to put more emphasis on their policies at the macro level. Because if at the macro level, they understand the innovation and the social innovation, it will be better for now it will be better to a country now to have a good index number. This is now what I can say on that one. Thank you.
Any other question, please? The mic to our brother there.
Thank you very much. You did a very good study. I really commend you. But I have one or two questions for you. You mentioned one of your variables was curiosity. How did you measure curiosity? How did you operationalize curiosity? Do you understand my question?
I understand. Now, it's very good questions. I have also been, it is even not the first time I've been asked that questions. But in most cases, once we are measuring those curiosity and the other variables, we used the scales which is already tested by scholars. We use the scales, we use now the scales, now some like questions tested by other scholars. It is in my paper, it is there. Who tested the now means that I use the questions already tested by known scholars. It is already in my paper. Now, I didn't present it, but now it is there in my paper. Now it is already tested. I used those scales now which is already tested by, of course, our former scholars known. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I also appreciate the presentation and the research done. I have also two questions. In your research, you insisted on innovation and macroeconomic policies for countries to develop. And I was wondering if those two factors are the only ones for countries to develop. And I want to ask you if you could not go deep and take your analysis on individual levels, because I have the feeling that when the population, individual people, are not also developed or are not advanced in terms of thinking about innovation, that condition of having countries developed, when people are not developed, it cannot reach the level you want. Number two is on firms, companies. That one is also important because they are the one fueling actually the change in terms of macroeconomic conditions. So I wanted to know whether those level of analysis in terms of development, individual and film level, cannot be considered in your study for countries to develop. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. Starting from the first question, I did the opposite, or maybe of what you have said. Me, I analyzed the individual drivers rather than macro. The macro, it is what I suggested as a recommendation, where there is now weakness for now our country. The second question, can you remind me the second? At film level. Thank you. Now, for the film level, once I was starting now from my paper, I think of now that film level, but I suggest is one of my limitations. Means that now the next scholars now will go on that now company level. Thank you, Professor.
Okay, with your permission, ladies and gentlemen, we may now receive the second presenter. Can we put our hands together for the first presenter? Thank you, Jean-Claude, for expounding more on your presentation. Now, in the interest of time, we are prompted to invite our second presenter. This is none other than Dr. David, who has a presentation on civil society and registration oversight in Africa. Can we put our hands together for him, please? You have the floor, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Now, I'm going to get some ground rules here. I want the person to wave at me who's doing my PowerPoint. Who's going to do my PowerPoint? Hi there. How are you? All right. Me and you are going to be talking for a couple minutes, all right? All right, so that we'll be on the same page of the hymnal. Public administration accountability generally rests with the legislative body. The work of public service on a daily basis is embedded in the agencies that interact with the public in accordance with the charge issued pursuant to public policy. An important question about this oversight mechanism is who is watching the watcher. The paper reports on research on African countries discussing the techniques, processes, and effectiveness of legislative oversight as viewed by incorporating civil society. Numerous African constitutions explicitly provide a role for civil society in democracy and whole democratic governance process. Research reports on cases of legislative oversight coming short of the constitutional mandate. Agencies of the government are responsible for assessing operational performance to serve effective oversight of public policy implementation. However, it is found that legislative oversight mechanisms are often incapacitated and posits an additional means as necessary. Civil society is seen as a feasible option to serve achieving accountability. Prescriptions have argued that civil society organizations serve a vital role to ensure transparency and accountability in Africa. Examples reported include monitoring progress of the legislature in its oversight role, raising questions of accountability and transparency with respect to the legislature and the governed, and excavating barriers experienced by legislatures in their oversight activities. This presentation aims to inform efforts of communities and societies in the work of advancing public administration effectiveness in Africa by bolstering the legislative oversight mechanism and robust participation in civil society. Now we're going to back all the way up to where my picture was. All right. Now go to the next slide. Now go to the next slide. All right, we're going to stay right there. So this was planned to be a two-part presentation. The first part was going to be my colleague from South Africa, who was going to talk about extensive work that he had done on South Africa in terms of legislative oversight. Then I was going to come behind him and just talk about another possible actor in the role of providing oversight. They had elections in South Africa. It impacted the work that he does working for the government, and he was not able to come. So you're going to get half of the horse. You're going to get one of the two shoes. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So that kind of a background. So the conference conveners wanted us to explore the challenges and opportunities into entrepreneurship ecosystem in Africa. So let's talk a little bit about entrepreneurship ecosystems. So one definition came from Duke University in the United States. They have a Center for the Advancement of Social Entrepreneurship. Their definition is key resource providers and environmental factors that affect the ability of social entrepreneurs to achieve their indeed social impacts. Now, I grabbed this making an assumption that there's probably going to be little difference between a business entrepreneur and a social entrepreneur. Now, I'm going to talk about that for a couple of seconds to keep on moving. Business entrepreneurs, they take risks, and they do that with the intent of receiving a personal reward. They're going to make some money. Social entrepreneurs develop programs and services with the intent of society benefiting, a social benefit. When there is a social aim and there's a social benefit, rather than the person doing the work getting the reward, it's a little bit of a different incentive process. This particular definition for the ecosystem talks about social entrepreneurship, but I think the drivers still relate. Because when there's a social benefit, I'm going to be an NGO, and I'm going to try to have a positive impact in my community, community-based organization. Then I may take money out of my pocket to get the government approval for my organization. I may take money out of my pocket to pay for rent, not with the expectation of making a profit, but the expectation of having a social benefit. That's the distinction, and those drivers have some importance, but when it comes down to what we're talking about today in terms of the ecosystem for entrepreneurship, they're really very similar. So just to clarify that difference. Next slide. The conveners also want us to talk about the challenges and opportunities in the ecosystem for entrepreneurship. In general, especially in a democracy, horizontal accountability. And that's when elected officials provide legislative oversight of the implementation, where they supervise the implementation of the policy. Good governance is argued to necessitate having an effective oversight of these agencies. Legislative oversight mechanisms we have found in the United States and all over the world. Legislative oversight mechanisms are often incapacitated. They're not effective. The legislative oversight work is not producing the effective implementation of the policy. Think about that for a second. The legislature's oversight of the government agency is not resulting in effective implementation of that policy. And so another level of accountability that's found in the research is this society-driven horizontal accountability. Here is where citizens with civil society organizations enforce accountability. Next slide. So the conveners of the conference wanted us to look at policies and frameworks that encourage entrepreneurship. One set of scholars say, understanding the administrative and political structure of nation states and the dynamics of governance in specific contexts are important to strands of entrepreneurship. What we're going to be talking about just for these brief moments is civil society organizations operating as a watchdog, if you will. A watchdog of the legislators that are supposed to be giving oversight to implementation. Techniques, processes, ways of trying to ensure that legislators are providing effective oversight and implementation. Civil society and legislative oversight in Africa. Who is watching the watcher? In this case, the legislature being the watcher. Next slide. So when we talk about civil society organizations advancing legislative oversight of these agencies, looking at policies and frameworks that encourage that, and having them serve in this watchdog role, there are various processes that could be used. Some research suggests that civil societies in Africa could be effective in looking at 3 different approaches to doing this work of being a watchdog. One is judicial proceedings, taking agencies to court, looking to the court to be an intervener to hold accountable performance by the legislature to do the oversight work they're supposed to. It's been used effectively on the continent, but sometimes it's less effectively done because there's a tax on the judiciary. Another tool that civil society organizations can use as a watchdog is mobilizing people in protest, getting people to come together and being public about where are we on this kind of oversight role, where are our representatives